Hey Dylan, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. When you look back at your rookie year, you come in as a guy that was undrafted, no guarantee to making the roster, and you end the season significant role with the team. In your wildest imagination, do you think that journey that you went on this year is something that you would have thought of maybe a couple months ago?
Yeah, first things first, all glory to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. It's kind of funny that that question is posed because in my pre-draft process, I remember being at the G League invite, and we had these breakout room interviews with these teams, and one of these teams had asked, "Where do you see yourself in a year?" And I told them, "I'll be on the NBA roster." I don't know how. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I told them I was going to be on the NBA roster, and I had that deep belief in myself that if I was going to go undrafted, regardless if I was an E10 or a two-way, that somehow, some way, I was going to will myself to put myself in a position to be on an NBA roster. So something I prayed for, something I worked for, and it's a dream come true.
Dylan, did you have a moment this year where you just realized that you belonged and this is where you need to be and this is your spot?
Yeah, for sure. I told the story a couple days ago, actually, but it was my first time I got called up from the G League. I was in the G League for about a month and a half, from November 8th until December 18th. I got a call up to play in Portland, and in like 17 minutes, I had like 8.7 rebounds and like 3 blocks. And I followed up the next game with like 5 blocks. And it was just one of those moments where I was just like, I kind of got a rhythm of things. And then it wasn't up until, I want to say, like 2 or 3 games later after that, mid-December, we played the Rockets and the Pistons, and those were the 2 best, physical front courts. And, I wasn't getting pushed around. I held my own, and I was like, wow, from a physicality standpoint, if I'm tough enough to handle the front court of the Houston Rockets and the Detroit Pistons, I mean, I don't think anybody's going to punk me. So probably that week in December is definitely when I thought I belonged.
Hey, what's up, Dylan? Good to see you again, my friend.
Sir. Yes, sir.
It's interesting. Our colleague Marcus over there had asked Malik Monk what brought him joy this season. And with no hesitation, he said these 2 words, Dylan Cardwell.
Yeah.
And he talked about the energy that you brought, the infectious personality, and everything that you brought to this team. Despite the disappointment and underachieving, whatever you want to call it, you were a bright light to this team this season. To hear your players, your teammates talk about you in that regard, and to know that you still brought a lot of fun this season, what does that mean to you, and was that always the goal and objective all along?
Yeah, it's exciting just to hear that your teammates appreciate you. I think growing up, I've always tried to be a great teammate and a great locker room guy, and it's just cool to see that when times are tough, that my character remained the same. We weren't losing, we weren't winning as much. We were not the greatest team, but I just show up to work every day and really just try to be a great teammate, and it's just cool to see it pay off. I try to be a light every day, and be a joy every single day. And there's times I have bad days. Some people just don't see it or whatever, but at the end of the day, I try to put my best foot forward, and it's just great to be a great teammate.
Dylan, you immediately became a fan favorite. Now, I remember, just the other day after the last home game, how you was interacting with, some of the people who stayed around to see you and some of the kids who coalesced around you. How do you feel about that, that this community, especially the fan base, has, kind of pulled you in and made you family?
Yeah, it means a lot to me. I really appreciate Sacramento. I appreciate the fans. It's just a great opportunity to go out here and compete, but when they come out here and they spend their hard-earned money to watch us play every single day, I don't take it for granted. And I really appreciate their sacrifice for how they poured into us throughout the season. But it means a lot to me to really have value here in Sacramento and to be loved and to be appreciated and to have my antics really just, poured into. I really appreciate every time I put my hands up, the crowd put their hands up as well. It just makes me feel more involved, and I really enjoy I really appreciate the fans' appreciation of my antics.
Does it feel good to end the year with the highest three-point percentage on the team?
Yeah, that's not my first time doing that. I did that in college as well multiple times. So, I was a 44% three-point shooter in college, 4 for 9. So, but yeah, man, I don't know what's going on. I just threw up some prayers and they went in.
There you go. What did you learn about the NBA style of game this season, and how you feel like you fit into it that you'll take into the offseason?
Yeah, definitely just being a force. Really setting the tone. It's kind of like my word. Just every time I go on the court, set the tone. Because if you allow it, some people will just step over you. Some people will disrespect you. Some people will take you for granted. And for me, from here on out, I'll just try to set the tone each and every game, each and every practice, and make sure I'm giving my best effort.
Dylan, when you talk about building a culture for a team, things that you do that you just explained are a huge part of that. Can you just explain for me, how much you relish in that and really bought into that? Was that kind of from where you come from? Was that kind of just like you do what you need to do, or is that just like, who you are as a basketball player?
I want to give a big shout out to my one of my old GAs, graduate assistants at Auburn, my freshman year. His name was KT Harrell. And I'll never forget going into my freshman year of college, I had all these crazy goals. I wanted to be, first team all SEC. I wanted to be SEC freshman of the year. I had all these high aspirations for myself. And the first game we played St. Joe's, and I played 10 minutes and I had 0 points. The next game we played Gonzaga, I probably played 10 minutes, had 0 points. Then we were in UCF. I scored my first college basket, and they only scored 2 points that game. And so I was talking to him while we were in Orlando playing against UCF, and I was just like, I was so down in a hole, because like I said, I had these high expectations for myself, and things just weren't working out. And he pretty much told me a story about his pre-draft experience. And he wasn't blessed enough to play in the NBA, but he was blessed enough to share his experience with me, that he was, a 20-point per game scorer in college, and he didn't make it to the NBA, but he was in the same draft class as Alex Caruso, and that was a guy that defended and played with a high effort and energy. And so he gave me 3 things to remember: rebound, energy, and defense. And we called it RED, and that was my memo from freshman year up until now. I'm going to be the best rebounder on the court. I'm going to play with the most effort and energy on the court, and I'm going to defend the best on the court. And that's what's going to put me in a position to play and be on the court at all times. And KT showed me from a young age that the NBA has its scores. College teams have their scores, but, someone has to do the dirty work. We look at Draymond Green or Ben Wallace or Dennis Rodman. These guys are Hall of Famers, and they all did what everyone else didn't want to do. And it's not a position that gets glory. There are games where my impact is felt, and I have 0 points and 5 rebounds, but we won the game by 20. And so it's an unsung hero kind of job, but it's needed. And I got to give a big shout out to KT Harrell, because if it wasn't for him, I don't know where I'd be at if it wasn't for those three words, those 3 letters.
Dylan, what does your offseason look like, and what do you want to improve on the most?
Yeah, I really just want to improve on conditioning and making sure I'm playing. I'll play as long as I possibly can. I want to work on really defending on the perimeter and being in the help. I've learned a lot about the defensive spacing in the paint, but as far as, if I had to switch one to a 4 or a 3 and playing off ball, I haven't had many reps of playing off ball out of my position. So just learning defensive rotations there. Free throws, finishing around the basket, really just everything. I'm very, very excited to see what this offseason looks like for myself. We have a plan going forward, but I'm excited to come back this next year and be better.
Hey, Dylan. 2 for me real quick. What was the best piece of advice you received this rookie season?
Yeah, it's a great question. The best piece of advice was probably that I got from Russ was just to don't change for anybody. And I guess the second best would be from Larry Nance. He said, don't let anybody steal your joy. And, at the end of the day, the NBA is a business, and there's a lot of things that are out of our control. But at the end of the day, we have to be professional, and how we carry ourselves and how we deal with the ups and downs of the league. And if things weren't going my way and I started to be a shell of myself and I wasn't playing with joy, and if I had a couple of DMPs in a row and I was just like, I'm done being joyful, I won't be in the league for long. And that really just put things in perspective for me of just like being a professional, but not just being a circumstantial person, being high only when times are high, being more professional, just like when things aren't going well, just being a good teammate and controlling what you can control.
Yeah, and I think it segues well into the just kind of the next question, which is, you hear people who typically embrace the role of the dirty work player, having to bring an edge or an aggression to them. And if anyone watches you, you play with such joy. How often do you hear, even in your past, even maybe now, people wanting to see that aggression or that meanness kind of come out of you even more so?
Yeah, I haven't really heard it too much. I'm a pretty tough guy. No one's gonna try me, so I don't really care too much about playing with aggression because I'm one of the toughest players in the NBA, I believe. And so I was one of the toughest players in college basketball. I never had to go out of my way to get a technical foul or a flagrant to prove that. No one's going out of their way to do nothing to me. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing.
Do you, as a rookie, do you already have the best celebrations in the league, and do you have a favorite from this year?
I don't think I have the best celebrations. I think we got a team full of guys that can celebrate. I mean, Russ's 3-point thing is just, to me, at first I was like, he's gonna give himself a concussion, but I caught on to it. But I like Precious's like 3-point thing, and then when we were playing the Knicks, he did it like this. So I guess it was real personal for them. But my favorite celebration of myself, I don't know. I mean, this is just obviously the easiest one because there are times where I would dunk, and before I could put my hands up, people in the stands are already standing up and doing this, and so that was always pretty cool to me. And that's probably my favorite one of all time, just because the fans do it before I can do it. Thank y'all. God bless.
How's everybody feeling today? Good, good.
Daquan, just how much do you appreciate the opportunity that you got this year and your ability to take advantage of that opportunity when you got it?
Yeah, man, I'm super appreciative of the opportunity that I got. Definitely helped me grow and experience live reps on the court, and just being up here and feeling the energy, being able to experience, this type of feel and this type of grind, I should say. It's been a bit different, but I'm definitely super appreciative of it.
Daquan, this season has been mixed with a lot of ups and downs. When you reflect back on this season, what positive memories do you take from this? Is there something, a moment, a memory that stands out to you that, is like, this is pretty awesome or something?
I mean, I try not to take for granted like any of this experience. I feel like this season has been a lesson for us all. But honestly, just me spending my time with both groups in the G and up here has had a lot of memories. Like, I feel like we've all had a good time up here, despite the record and despite what the season has looked like. But yeah, man, we've had countless amounts of, encounters and like moments out there on the floor where I'm just super grateful for.
Daquan, what is your thoughts about, possibly returning to this organization? A high probable chance of you coming back to this organization. How do you feel about that?
I like the odds. I like what we do here. I'm all for people who are, for me and my best interests out here on the court and in the NBA. But I guess we'll get to that when we, when everything is all said and done and, drafts and all that good stuff. So I know for me it's a bit of a waiting game, but, I love this organization. I love what we bring. I love what we're doing, and I love what we're growing into. So, yeah.
Daquan, you've been on this grind for a minute, right? Where's your confidence at right now as a player, maybe compared to where it's been in the past, or have you always been confident? Now it's just about you getting this opportunity.
Yeah, I think, I felt like I've always been confident, but I feel like with the opportunity that's been presented to me and just the support that I've gotten from our vets and, honestly, everybody in our organization, I feel like it's helped me gain confidence, and then just going out there and performing well. Like, I feel like they all are building blocks of helping me gain confidence and showing that, I can be an impact on either side of the ball or just even out there on the floor at all. So confidence is definitely skyrocketed.
Daquan, when you look at this offseason and kind of the confidence that you built up going into it, what do you look at that you try to work on or refine in your game to come back better for the next year?
Yeah, I think now being a better ball handler, I feel like that can help, especially like with our situation. Our situation was pretty unique when we had a whole bunch of bodies down, so being able to have maybe a second or third ball handler or whatever the case may be might help. But I think for my own progression, I think that would be something that helps as well, being able to get downhill, play make a little bit, maybe off the second side or something like that. So I think that's definitely big in my development.
I believe it was your first NBA reps here where pregame Doug said pretty confidently that he thinks you're an NBA player. What has Doug meant to you this season, not only from a basketball standpoint, but just confidence building you up as a person?
Man, Doug has been major. I feel like when I first really started getting reps with the Sacramento, I feel like, he's always pulled me to the side and was just like, listen, like, this ain't nothing different. You still go out there, you still play how you play, like, you still play to our standard, like, but we trust you. Like, we believe in you, like, to go out there and make the call, like, come to me, talk to me, like, whatever the case is. But, I think just talking to him through this process has really been reassuring of, like I said, the amount of trust that they do have in me. And, it's been major being able to talk to him, like I said, talk to our vets. All that stuff mattered, especially being out there and having the opportunity now to show what I can do offensively, defensively. So it's major. Not a problem. Thank you.
Yep.